welcome to my channel. My name is Kayla B and my channel is everything self-care, lifestyle, personal development, and mindset. So if those are your interests, feel free to subscribe, like, comment, and even share this video. So this is something that I've really wanted to talk about for some time now because it's something that's been on my heart, and I've been going through some things in life and it really put things into perspective for me. So I've been thinking about my goals versus God's plans. So when I say that, I mean I have something that I want to do set in my heart. For example, graduating school, a specific job, you want to buy a new car, you want to move out. That's your goal. But I feel like God's plan is his journey of getting you there. And I feel like that's sometimes why we have a hard time achieving our goals, because we have a journey set in mind that's our own pace. We want it to be quick. We want things to happen a specific way. And we're hindering ourselves from those goals because we're not following the journey and the plan and the path that God has set out for us. So something that I've been really thinking about is when we set goals, we should really consult God on how we should get there, because we can lead our own selves astray a lot of the times. And just to share a little bit of a personal story to kind of give you perspective of what I'm talking about, when I was in university, I was dead set on getting my bachelor's in behavioral science. And that's what I wanted from when I was 17, 18 years old. That is what I wanted. And I went to school, and when I got there was some obstacles that was coming up in my way already in my first semester of my freshman year, and I was struggling. And I had someone literally tell me that this was a professor that told me in the class that I was struggling in, "I feel like you're dumb." They said those words, and it may have just been like a language barrier because that person they were an immigrant and they weren't from this country. So I feel like they may have used that word, but maybe they didn't mean it in the way that they said it. But at the same time, I felt so hurt by a professor using that words against me. And they told me they felt like university wasn't for me at all, and they felt like that I should leave. And I kept trying to achieve my goal of getting my bachelor's in behavioral science. And year after year, I did hours and hours of tutoring every week. I went to summer school to try and better my marks in certain classes so that I could get into a better class when I came back to school, and things were just not working out for me. And finally, in my last year of school, my senior year, I was speaking with my advisor and things were just not looking up. They told me if I wanted to continue in behavioral science, it would take me 6 to 7 years to finish. And that was unacceptable to me. I refused to listen to that. So I went to church. I was praying about it a lot because I was stressed. I was crying about this like every day because I also had such a high goal of graduating school on time. It's a 4-year program, so I want to finish it in 4 years. And eventually God kind of opened my eyes to something and said, go back to your advisor, because I felt like he was trying to say that doing it this specific way is not how I want you to do it. So I finally went back to my advisor and I said, okay, what are my other options? And we finally looked at all my other options, and I ended up switching in my last year, mind you, to psychology. And there was only just a few extra requirements that I would have to take in my last year. So I had to add a few courses because behavioral science and psychology are similar, but there was something about behavioral science that I wanted more. So there was only a few other courses for psychology that I would have to take in order to graduate on time. And I managed to do it. So I graduated university in 2017. Then I came back home because I went to school in a different province. I came back home. I was working for 2 years, so I worked as a teacher's assistant, and I also worked as a daycare teacher to just kind of build up my experience because my passion was to work with kids. And finally in 2019, I went back to school. In 2019, I went back to college for behavioral science. Mind you, university was the hardest experience for me. It was so hard. I put in so much effort, and I was never a straight A student. I wasn't even a straight B student. I graduated with a kind of a low GPA, but my GPA that I graduated with was me trying my absolute hardest. I get into college for behavioral science for a 2-year program, and it was a breeze for me. And I graduated with, I believe, a 3.8 GPA, and I felt like that was God showing me his plan to achieve my goal. I wanted it a specific way, and I felt like it just wasn't working out for so many years for God to try and show me that he's had something else in store for me. So that little bit of my personal story is kind of to show you exactly what I'm talking about. I feel like sometimes God puts obstacles in our way to show us that, yes, we can achieve the goal that we want. It is meant for us, but he has a specific plan that he wants us to follow. And there's a specific journey that he's taking us on to either give us wisdom, to teach us something, and to kind of build resilience for maintaining the goal once you achieve it. And that's how I definitely feel God was showing that in my own life. And I definitely feel like something that I watched on TikTok, I can't even remember which sermon it is now. If I can remember, I'll link it in the bio, in the description. But something that I heard that really resonated with me is sometimes we believe our prayers are unanswered because God packaged them in a way that we're not expecting to see it in. And I definitely feel like that showed itself in my life. I felt like God was not answering my prayers because he wasn't giving it to me the exact way that I was asking him to give it to me. But not every time that we ask God for something, he's going to give it to us the exact way we're expecting, because he knows best and he knows exactly what works better for ourselves in our lives. And I definitely feel that with my schooling experience. He knew that me graduating behavioral science maybe with a low GPA just wasn't the best for me, or maybe graduating from that specific school wasn't best for me. Me learning behavioral science in college definitely showed me way more than if I achieved it in university, because college taught things differently than university did, and God knows my learning style. He knows. And I learned way more, and I retained the information better in college because it was teaching me in my learning style. So of course I learned a lot of background knowledge from university. University was still something very important, but college taught me how to apply it. And that's exactly what he felt was important for my life. And I can obviously see that now looking back. And I'm glad that I went through things the way that I did, because it taught me so much. And I definitely feel like if we follow the journey that God has for us, we'll definitely be able to learn more. Sometimes we achieve more than we ever expected. I gained so much working experience and life experience and wisdom from the path that I followed throughout that whole experience. I definitely feel like I learned way more. So I'm really grateful for that. So this is just something that I just wanted to share. It's something that's really been on my heart, and I definitely feel like this may resonate with anybody who's watching, because sometimes we really get confused about what God has in store for us because we're expecting him to provide it to us in a certain way. So I just wanted to kind of open anyone's eyes to the fact that maybe your prayers are being answered, but you're just not seeing it right in front of you because you're expecting it in a different way. So if this video resonated with you in any way, feel free to share anything in the comments, leave a like, or even share. I'd love to have you back on this channel, and thanks for watching.